What did we get at Airecon 2025? Well, funny you ask. Here's a video.
Hi, I'm Libby, this is Julian. Welcome to Box Meeples. And yes, we have got back from Airecon and have brought more games home with us than we had intended to.
Yeah.
I think we did sell quite a few games in the Bring and Buy or before in the sort of Facebook selling forums and things like that. And I think maybe we went a little bit money happy with what we'd sold and then ended up buying too much. But here we are.
We had gone with the intention of kind of reducing down the collection, focusing on the games we definitely play most and, you know, other ones we've outgrown or we've got other ones that we just prefer. But yeah, I don't quite know how we managed to come back with, I think, an equal amount to what we sold.
It's certainly close to, isn't it? Whoops. Some of them are smaller, so that I mean, at least we're saving space, right?
Some of them definitely aren't. But yeah, for Fair Demand, we try to sell. We were hoping to come back with like 2 games, I suppose.
Yeah. I still have got some game pocket money left over.
Yes, so we did do well.
Okay.
We did do well at the Bring and Buy. So a lot of the games we bought came from the Bring and Buy. Other ones we got afterwards, because when the whole show ends on the Sunday, what happens is anything that's not sold and not being collected, or people have just said, well, you know, give that to charity, go in a big old. It was like a trolley.
Yeah, like a supermarket, like bakery trolley.
Yeah, and they just offload that on the table, and any stragglers who are still playing games at the end of the Sunday, haven't given in and said just too much Airecon, get to basically pick up anything you want from the table and play what you feel, which is a bit of a blessing and a curse, really, because I always think I'm a pretty charitable guy. So I don't know if I end up just overpaying, and I could have got them cheaper at the Bring and Buy earlier, but the difference is 100% of the sale goes to charity, and that to me is very important. So
yeah, and we did buy some from retailers as well. We'll go through that in a minute. And yeah.
So do you want to start off, or shall I?
Sure. I'll start. One that I've been looking for a while is Res Arcana Duo. Res is in my favourite games. Yeah, if you've seen our top 10, you will have seen it mentioned there. And this is the only sort of iteration, version, expansion of it that we didn't have. Mm-hmm. And Res Arcana is one of those games that I always force us to take away with us when we're travelling, because it gives me all that crunch that I want. This is just going to be so much better because such a smaller box, easier to travel with. So very excited to see what the 2-player version is doing there.
Now, with the money I'd earned selling some of my games, I thought I'm going to treat myself. And when I treat myself, of course, I end up getting some hostage negotiator stuff. I may say there's still some bits I haven't got.
That one's basically replacing me ordering the wrong version for you. So you can get demand packs and abductor packs, is that right?
Yeah.
And you had asked for the demand pack, and I brought the abductor pack. So this is basically just rectifying a wrong.
And there are a few bits, and I know Van Ride Games are going to be at Games Expo. So I'm hoping they bring kind of smaller bits, because buying from their web store is quite expensive because they're based in America. So there are a few bits I can still buy. But yeah. And I also got Critters at War, Flies, Lies and Supplies. If you'd seen another video, you would have seen how much we loved this game when we first played it. And you have to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think what this does is it's this kind of standalone expansion. So you can just use the cards in this to play the whole game, or you can kind of mix and match and have one number for each of the theatres of war, built up from cards you're collecting from both sets. I think that's how it works. Let me know if I'm wrong, because otherwise it'd be really embarrassing when we play it and totally unbalanced. But yeah, I really enjoyed this iteration of it, the critter version of it. So when I got a chance to buy this, I did.
Exciting stuff. In the Bring and Buy, we have started a collection of the Facade games, Hollywood 1947. We've done quite a bit of coverage on. Bristol was a great game, really fun, telling people that they've got the plague or not got the plague. And Deadwood let me get the year right, 1876, is actually one that we played for the first time at Airecon last year and was really fun. It's got that kind of Wild West kind of theme to it. And these just look so beautiful on the shelves, like actual looks like you've actually got books and not just board games on your shelves. It's a right turn up, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, just thought it'd be a nice one to add to the collection there.
And you're going to tell the people at home what mistake we made? Tortuga related.
Oh, yes. I thought that we had Tortuga. And we do have it in a print and play. And I thought that we had also brought it. And it turns out
we don't.
That we hadn't got it. So, yeah, that was unfortunate because I was mistaking it for Bristol.
It's the first time
so we pick that one
we
up
do
too.
have a very large collection of obviously board games, and we don't have them all logged on BGG. So it's the first time we've ever, at least it's this way around. We didn't buy a game that we already have, but we didn't get it because we thought we had it. Which you technically do.
We technically do. It was just we didn't have the fancy book version of it.
We were on the Bring and Buy going, do we have that one? I don't know.
Whoops.
If we could have asked Fen, who's at home, to check the shelves, that'd have been useful, but we didn't. Yeah. He's a dog, so he could have told us. But anyway.
Never mind.
Every year, what I do is go in and Bring and Buy, and I try to buy a game that's £5 or less. This has gone terribly in the past.
It has. Awfully.
So one game I got was unplayably bad.
Yeah, sometimes they're worth nothing but the burn time of cardboard.
Yeah. Interestingly, I saw a game, I don't know if it's the same version, that I had bought and then put back in the Bring and Buy for the same price at UK Games Expo. And I saw it again at Airecon in the Bring and Buy. And this time they're being... they wanted more money. I wanted £10 for it. I'd love to have somehow discreetly marked the box to see if this is just doing a circle amongst all the people who go to the Bring and Buy. Anyway, this year I think I've done quite well. So I've got Keyframes, which is by Shay and Ezra, who make White Castle.
They do indeed, and Red Cathedral.
And I think watching reviews, this has not a lot of longevity. It's more of a kind of one-off puzzle you do. But I like the theme, I like animation, and I thought even if it's just a one-off puzzle, if it's an enjoyable one-off, then okay, that's worth £5. And I also picked up Fork, which stands for Fox, Owl, Rabbit, and Kale. And you were taught this by Bonds at Essen, not last year, the year before, quite enjoyed it.
Yep.
And apparently, as you would have seen in the daily vlogs, this has got some Kickstarter stuff in it. And you said it's quite good.
Yeah, it's quite a small game. It's like just a little card game of trying to sort of outwit, I suppose, kind of like trick taking, but not really. But yeah. It's a long time ago,
I think
so
this was
my memory's somewhat vague, but you have to kind of be the prime predator of what's on play.
So yeah, I think one of these is going to be worth the money. Hopefully both.
We went, a couple of times we went to Games Crusade, which is the local shop in Harrogate. Once at their stand at the show, and then after the show we also went into the store on the Monday after the show. So when we went into the store, we picked up, which to be fair they did have on the stand as well, but we didn't end up spending time looking at those. We picked up these kind of like, I'm going to call them chewing gum games because they're so tiny and they come in these cute little packs. I mean, I think there must be 25, 30 odd different games this sort of size, and they all have different difficulties. So this is a one dot and a 3 dot game. I think 3 is the highest difficulty that they do in these. So this is called Gem and this one's called Dig. And I think they're very simple. They should be fun for travel. So I'm excited to dive into these. A lot of people raving about them. I saw quite a few people with one called Bog. Now I'm thinking I should have picked up that little froggy goodness. But yeah, I'm afraid that this might be a series of Pokemon needing to catch them all eventually.
It's hilarious that games are just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I remember when the kind of tiny epic games came out, like, they're tiny, and then we got aware of the Oink games, like they're even smaller, and Bunchai games, they're tiny. Look at the size of these now. These are proper games. So I find who can go smaller than that?
I mean, I could lose that in my handbag, let alone put it in my handbag.
talking about weird curios, they had a gachapon machine at Airecon, and I thought, £2, let's get some fun small dice. And to be honest, I thought I was going to have to spend a lot of money to get the one I wanted. I thought, well, it's not going to come out first time. It did. I got the little blue ones with the gold numbers on them. It's teeny tiny.
Like lapis lazuli.
You won't even be able to see them on camera. They're so small. But this is a full set. Look at them. Full set of dice.
They're cute.
Wow. Look at what I rolled. Yeah, so £2. But I was hoping to get you one, but then I got the one I wanted. So I was like, well, if you want, you can go get them.
Selfish. Also with Games Crusade, we brought things in rings. Now, I heard a lot about this recently. I saw a lot of people playing it at Gen Con last year. Just really fun, kind of big group game. You all have cards in your hands and you're trying to put them inside the correct part of the Venn diagram, basically. So someone knows the rules to all of those circles, the rest of the players don't, in the way that we played it anyway.
Yeah.
And you have to place your cards correctly and get rid of all of your cards before the person who knows all the rules has managed to get rid of all of theirs. Really tricky. I mean, such fun. But if you're the person who knows the rules, it's kind of like,
I think you got a harder job.
Yeah, because you're sort of thinking, well, it kind of does apply, but you know, the way I think of it, I don't initially think that. Then the more I think about it, the more I think it should be in that ring, and maybe it should be in all the rings. Oh, and at the end, are they going to say that that's the card that threw them off because it was in the wrong ring? It's very fun, and this is still in shrink, but we did play another copy. Our friends Phil and Lisa from With Boxes had theirs with them as well, so we played it, I think 3 or 4 games of it.
Yes.
And yeah, great fun. Glad we have it. I think it'll be a good one for just sort of casual social events.
Yeah, so when we're playing it, I have trouble kind of visualizing the Venn diagram. I've maybe it's squished, so I'd always go, it is blue, it is not yellow, and it's red, and then let someone else figure out where it's to go. And also that made it more of a reveal. District Noir.
That was in the Bring and Buy,
wasn't it? It was in the Bring and Buy, yeah. A £5. I've very nearly paid much more for this.
Well, so technically that was your £5 bargain.
It could have been. Yeah. Now you say that. And I've wanted this for a while. I like the theme of it. It's a nice 2-player dueling game. We've played it at a previous convention. I enjoyed it then. And for a while I thought, oh, I've just bought this from one of our closest friends. And it turns out I didn't buy her copy. I bought someone else's. So less said about that, the better. But I'm pleased I have it. It's going to be one we take with us travelling. And I think, having looked at it, it's not been played. It's brand new. So despite being second-hand, essentially, it's not. It's been in someone's house and then it's out on the shelf.
I got a game that I've been looking at for a long time, and it's been out of stock for quite a while. River of Gold. Beautiful looking Euro game with this lovely gold embossing. I think it's very easy to play, but can add some nice decision space. So yeah, really excited. I've heard only great things. In fact, it even has the Dice Tower Seal of Excellence.
That must be excellent.
Exactly. So yeah, this is a little treat with my Bring and Buy money. So I thought, yep, that can come to the collection and it will look beautiful on the shelf. I'm going to put it over here out the way so I still have some space.
Lisa off of Fun With Boxes is responsible for a lot of my purchases I got. Now, we got this in the Bring and Buy for £12. Again, brand new. I spent time yesterday building the theatre from it. They've been played. Everything's still in the wrappers. They got this a few years ago in like one of those discount bookshop type setups where occasionally you see stacks and stacks of board games that are really good for really
it's where
cheap.
end of lines go, isn't it?
So that's probably why there was a couple of copies in the Bring and Buy of this. This one hadn't been played and was the cheapest. So it seemed a good thing to get. And it's a kind of family-friendly auction, bidding, putting on plays type game. And
it's got a fox in it.
It has a fox in the front. And it's got a theatre. And as you spin the thing on the theatre, it knocks all your chicken managers off. And I thought that sounds great fun. So yeah, I saw this in their message and said, is it worth £12, I think it was? And Lisa's like, yep, grab it. So I did. And that's why I have it. and I'm going to put it there and then regret putting it there because I knock everything else over.
We went to Sneaky Rascal Games, who we've spoken to for the last couple of years, and they're making Restless spirits. And so this is one of their prototypes, hand cut all the boards.
Yes.
I think it takes them like a full day to cut everything out that you need for this, but really nice to see the game sort of progress. So we will be doing more coverage on this, but we picked up a copy to do coverage on whilst we were there from them.
That
so
is
that's
a prototype.
exciting.
You can't get it yet. It will be on crowdfunding super soon, and you'll see within the 5 reasons.
Yes.
On that. Speaking of crowdfunding games, I'm going to try and obscure the writing because I asked Rick to write something mildly offensive on there. And this is Survive Alive, which we did a video on. I absolutely fell in love with it last Airecon. I knew about it before Airecon. My first play was at Airecon last year. Did some videos on it, and obviously to say thank you, he gave me a copy of the game, which has got all the bells and whistles in it. And I'm so pleased to now have this because we had the prototype, which I then passed on to another reviewer, and that's the way it works. So I lost the copy. Couldn't play it for a while, so I'm very pleased to have it back because it works solo, works multiplayer, but I predominantly played it solo, and it's really good. So that is going to go there. And I'm going to knock it over. At some point, this is going to be like a domino board game cascade.
Another one I got from Games Crusade, actually, in Harrogate. Lisa there is very good at getting hold of these itten Funbrick series, which are quite tricky to get here in the UK. Normally, it's an Essen pickup for us. But this was one that we don't yet own. I think it's a 2-player game, actually. Which will be interesting because a lot of the Funbrick series I kind of categorise in that kind of silly group kind of play, like 3 Second Try, Viking Seesaw, Ninja Master, like all very silly group games. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with a 2-player version. Thought I would try that.
And you've started buying one every convention we go to now. So if
they're there, and if there's one that we don't have, which, there are 2 things that. So this was the last one we didn't have that Lisa had on display. So if she doesn't get new ones that we don't have for next year, then I won't be able to pick up on there. But hopefully there'll be more at Essen.
Still keeping our fingers crossed for 3 Second Try.
Yeah.
It's still my favourite one. Continuing on the bring and buy trend, actually the majority of these now are bring and buy. Actually, the one that isn't. 2 that isn't. Imperial Settlers, we played this at UK Games Expo a few years back with our friend Jess, or the sequel to this.
We played the one in the north, didn't we?
And it's quite nice. It's not overtly heavy. I'd say it's more like a weeknight game. But I think it might be one that we can gradually start to introduce the girls to, because they're getting deeper and deeper into what games they can play and what they're good at. And I think something like that would be a nice sort of next step for them. It has the appealing art and look, but with more complex mechanisms. So I bought this for the price, really. It was very, very cheap for what you're getting, and I thought, well, let's have that. So I have.
You're not doing any chair usage.
No, I'm going to hide behind here like a wall of games.
We did go to the Critterific Games Talk with Rosie and Kim Joy. Rosie works for Cobbled Alchemy, who make Critter Kitchen that is delivering now, about to deliver. It's imminent if you've not already got it. And they had these nice little primal pack that has Kim Joy on the front here. And so for going to the talk, we got a little gift of that. So excited to add that to the game.
Yeah, I think they're the promos
as it comes.
Exclusive cards, which I then make available on the website for people who hadn't, because they're one of these companies who don't want to be make the stuff they give away or with crowdfunding accessible to everyone, so people who join later will be able to get them, which I think more companies should do. Right, this one, I've seen this in a game shop not far away from my house for a while, and basically it's another version of Tron in board game form. Years ago I did a video about why aren't there any good Tron board games, and tried to make my own, which went reasonably well.
Yeah, it was okay. But
there is this one. And this is, I heard it described in a review as when you're playing X-Wing and you lay out the tracks to work out where your ship's going to fly to. That's in game form with a Tron theme. And the box of this looks super retro, and it looks like a VHS box I used to have on my shelves. But it's all worn on the corners, which it's not really worn, that's just a print. And I think that looks cool. It all looks like a load. These are just characters you play as. They're not different games. It's just one game. I think it's slightly silly, slightly party. You lay tracks out, pretend you're in light cycles. And yeah, bring and buy. I have no reasoning when it comes to the bring and buy. I'm like, yeah, I've wanted that for a while. It's cheaper than the retail. Yep. And then you forget and you go to the till. It's like, that's built up. Okay, shall I be... I'm going to be bold. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
No, this is going to end in tears. Let's not do this.
Yes,
I have a convenient chair right next to me.
End in tears, for sure. I know nothing about Zoop, but it's a small game. It had a fun toucan on the front of it.
It's because 2 can play that game. Actually, 2 can't because it's 3 to 8.
So it is. But this was in that...
my favourite joke I've made.
This was in that pile of people have left it because it's not sold in the bring and buy, donate to charity. So I thought, well, it's worth a try and see what we think. So if it's any good, you'll probably hear about it later on. Because
toucan sounds like toucan.
Yes.
Which is a bird. And
yes. Yeah. We all know that joke.
Okay.
It's quite old.
Case was clear. Movie Empire, same situation as Zoop. This was in the charity pay what you want. Don't know anything about it, but it has a Back to the Future parody on the side, which made me go, that counts as a Back to the Future game then. It has a solo mode. It was on Kickstarter a while back. I can know this because it says Kickstarter edition. Must say I'm not overly sold on the choice of art. That's not really my kind of thing. No idea how good the game is. I've seen a review since and it seems okay. It's all right. Solo mode apparently doesn't work. You have to halve the opponent's score to make it a challenge, which sounds like it just doesn't work. But yes, it was a charity gift. Money went to charity. I had this game. If it's terrible, then it'll be a charity gift to a charity shop. I feel like I'm encroaching on your space.
You are, yeah. I picked up Mountain Goats. Very kindly, our friend gifted it to us. We gifted him a game in the end as well, so we basically did swapsies. But he, in the Bring and Buy, picked up a 6-pack of the all-play games, and in there was Mountain Goats, and he already owned this one, and had brought it to the con to play with people because it's a nice small box game. So I had wanted to find it in the Bring and Buy because he'd said such good things about it, and instead we did swapsies.
Yay!
So that was great. Thank you, Ryan.
War of Whispers. This cost us no money whatsoever because
another swapsie.
It was a swapsie, yeah. In the before we went to Airecon, we were dealing in the Facebook group of buying and selling. We put some games up there. Someone saw a game we were selling, and I looked at what they were selling, and I said, "Shall we? Shall we do the swapping dance?" And yeah, we played this. We met up with some people from a Discord group in London.
Yeah, our friend Tom and his wife.
Pre-baby, in fact. And what this meant was is an opportunity to get it for next to no money. And Fenn's fully in agreement of us getting this.
Yes.
Or that someone's just walking past our house, one or the other. And so it didn't cost us anything. And it's a game I wanted to replay for a while.
Yeah, it was fun. Interesting tactics in that one. I think the more you play, the more kind of strategic it gets, and the more like, I don't know, you more you end up like Littlefinger. Yeah,
because it's a Game of Thrones inspired games, but not about dealing with the battles. It's more about orchestrating where battles take place, who's victorious.
Yeah, it's not about you winning, it's about who's winning or who's losing, and no one knows where your allegiances lie. So you're kind of pushing for not yourself, just someone.
Just a long-term agenda, which I like. And it plays quickly. It plays in under an hour.
Yeah, that was good. We were gifted from Hachette. Thank you very much, Hachette. A castle combo. Obviously, everyone's been raving about this, and we are last to the party. Yeah, really. I mean, they've got some incredible small box games at Hachette, like Far Away we've been raving about for ages. We are raving about Small World Above the Clouds, and we'll continue to do so until it comes out and afterwards, because we played that at Manchester recently, and that was incredible. Love that game. And this is similar in terms of you're making the 9-card layout, but really fun little combos.
It does feel different to it.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. You're trying to do different things with your cards. You're trying to combo them differently. But yeah, it is. Again, it's another one where the art on the front is maybe what slightly delayed us getting it. Like that type of character. I like the castle and everything, but that type of character doesn't necessarily draw me in hugely. But the gameplay makes up for that massively. Yeah.
We played a game. It's one of those. Let's play another one.
Yeah, it is one of those games you're like, right, let's play again. Let's play again. I want to better my score. It turns out I made my score a lot worse.
Yeah, you were
the second game was awful. Yeah, really, really fantastic game. Yeah, loved it.
Hit the Road. Lisa from Farmer Boxes recommended this one to me. And I've always thought this was like a roll and write. It isn't. It's you're going on a road trip across America, which is something we've done. And I love the artwork of this. And I don't think you appreciate just how clever it is until you see it in person. Online, you just kind of see the box and go, that's not for me.
Well, I didn't realise it was Martin Wallace until I just looked at this kind of looking like we're graffitied.
So the idea of the game, and what's hilarious is on the back of it, is Hit the Road. And this is like a 50s style game. Then the apocalypse happens, and some child has found this old game and repurposed it to be this new game. So when you look inside in the box, all of the tokens are like bottle caps.
That's fun.
And repurposed like credit cards.
Right.
And I love the theme, and not enough games do that, where they kind of take a theme and run with it throughout the components as well. And it's a bit of a cutthroat game from all accounts. But I had ruled it out because I just thought, well, that doesn't seem another zombie game. But I was sold it in person because of just all of the art and attention to it that just immersed itself in the theme. It's another one where the box looks worn out and tatty and old.
And it's meant to.
But it's meant to. So yeah, thanks, Lisa. If it's rubbish, I'll blame you. But I think this is a good one.
This is a bit of a cheat, actually, because we actually got this a couple of weeks ago from Hachette. But I thought I'd mention it now because we played it at the con and it was fab.
Yes.
And you kind of initially thought, oh, it's just a sliding puzzle. Like, how good is it going to be? Not sure. It's great. It's great. You have your grid of 4x4 and you're taking out one face down card each time and then having to slide along all of the row and then put a new card from the middle of the pile of everyone's discards back into your puzzle, and trying to get sets of numbers together, and anything that's left isolated you're going to earn points for at the end of the game. And obviously the aim is to earn as little points as possible. I managed to win the game with just 1 point, which I was very impressed by on my first play. But yeah, we had great fun playing this at Airecon, so I thought I would just mention it in this, even though technically we didn't get it at the show.
Now that fun with boxes, they do like to suggest a game. They just like us spending money. Fire in the Hole. Okay. This is a children's game that should be called Pom Pom Pirate. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. If I ever mention Pom Pom Pirate, it's actually this game. And it's, imagine Pop-Up Pirate. Nothing like that, but there's a pirate ship that pops up in this, and then you fling pom-poms at it to try to
get... A little cat and mouth situation.
Yeah, to try to get rows and columns and stuff. And we'd had a great fun playing cat and mouth with the girls. I think they like this. Similar thing. Probably you only play it once, you don't take it very seriously, but it's just fun to fling pom-poms at a pirate ship. I wouldn't have bought it if it was a lot of money, but it wasn't, so I did.
I got from... I made a mistake. So in the end of the show charity gathering of games, let's call it, this looked super cool, and I thought, small box, yokai, Japanesey, that should be fun. Don't know what it is, but yeah, let's pick it up and see. Turns out it's the expansion for another game, and it is actually an expansion for a game that I enjoyed that we don't own. So maybe this just means that I need to buy another game so that I have it and the expansion. Whoops.
Yeah, can't play it quite yet. Lovely box.
I can never pronounce the game. Kanagari.
Which we have played.
Yeah,
it was good.
It's got the stag on it, hasn't it? I did really enjoy it. So, that's the expansion of that, and we don't own the game. Whoops.
This one I had seen and I very nearly backed on Kickstarter. This is Globe-Trotting. There we go. And the reason I didn't back it on Kickstarter because the postage to get it was horrifically expensive. And I'm pleased I didn't, because then I'll get to get it in the Bring and Buy.
Yeah, someone's actually tried to use it like a suitcase, and that's failed.
That has failed.
So we might need to do some.
It does need a bit of
DIY, a bit of love.
Yeah, it needs a bit of love, because one of the globes in it is also the stand for the globe.
The
is also
stand,
damaged.
not the globe itself.
But what was good is that was taken into consideration on the price, which I really like. Much rather than say, in fact, they said on here, 1 globe stand fixed with sellotape. Okay.
Yeah.
So they were honest and upfront about it on the price. I'd much rather people do that than you come home and you think, oh, that's not what I wanted, which I've seen some reports of that on Facebook. By and large, it doesn't happen. People are honest and true, and you can just have a look at it when you're in the Bring and Buy. But yeah, I was really pleased to get this because it's...
I think another one we can play with the girls, which would be really
quite light, and you're plotting, of course, around the globe. And what's great is you literally are drawing on a Perspex globe, which is a fun novelty. It's going to take up a chunk of space on the shelf.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want a suitcase like that, though?
But it looks lovely. And like I said, I would have bought it if it wasn't for the expensive postage. So worth biding my time there.
Yeah. Another one in the Bring and Buy was Origin. And we picked this up. Well, again, it's Lisa's fault again, because she came to our group of friends and said, look at this game. It's great. It's got these wonderful wooden pieces on it. I don't know if you can see them here, all these wooden pieces. Who wants it? And we're sort of stood there in a group, and I was like, yeah, I do. Yeah, hand it over then. I need to organise the box. I shouldn't be able to flip it like that and you'll be able to see it. But yeah, the lid needs to turn around. But does have lovely wooden pieces. I don't know much about the gameplay, but intrigued by it and see what it does.
Well, you got that lovely art. I felt left out. So I went for a game with lovely art. And this is Dreamcatchers. And it's quite a light family game. Again, don't know a great deal about it, but saw the cover and was like, that looks lovely. Yes, please.
Again, looks like something your daughters might enjoy.
Yes, and it plays up to 4 players, but it's very, very quick to play. And kind of entry-level plus style gameplay. So, which is kind of where they are at. Sometimes we get games which are just too light for them and doesn't really engage them. They enjoy it, but it doesn't engage them. So we're trying to find that middle ground, and I'm hoping that's what this is. And just the beautiful art alone will engage them. So, yeah.
Great. Last up for me.
Good luck pronouncing.
Sammu-ramat, I'm going to say. I need to check up on this to see. I was very kindly gifted this by Carly at Gnarly Carly Gaming. She happened to have 2 copies, and basically this one hadn't sold for her in the Bring and Buy. So she said, do you want it? Have a look at it, see if you like it, and maybe I'll do some content on it. It's a female designer, which I thought is great to try to champion when we can. And so, yeah, I'm intrigued by this. It looks like historical figures on the back there, but as you can see, it's Slim Shrink. I haven't really had a chance to check it out at all. So thank you for Carly for thinking of me and gifting this, and excited to play. Yes, and before I forget, which isn't here, but we must count in our haul, shirts and merch, which this is one of them. And you would have seen us stop by if you've seen the vlogs at the show. I was wearing my Obsession one day. I think I've worn my Guardians of the Galaxy one.
I was wearing the Back to the Table one.
Yes. We have got on order 2 new shirts from there. Yep. So they will be on their way very soon. And we have also, which isn't here, but we did pre-order at the show, Galactic Cruise.
We did.
Yes,
That was
whoopsie.
very much the game of the show. Everyone was talking about Galactic Cruise.
Yeah, we played it the other week and it was absolutely fantastic. So we just needed to get that order in.
Let's get that in our collection.
Yes. But last game for you, I think.
Last for me is another shrink wrap one. So I found this in a bring and buy. Obviously, it's never been played. We played this a load on Board Game Arena. It's a draw and write, so like a roll and write, but no rolling, just drawing, which some people prefer because it mitigates some of the random chance. But this is a brilliant one of those kind of genre of games where you're touring as a rock band. And yeah, it works really well on BGA, but I thought quite nice to have a physical copy. So
I like there's so many different areas to be looking at and working on and crossing off. You know, are you traveling around? Are you doing, I mean, there must, I can't remember exactly, but there must be 6 or so different areas where you can be working on
it's
your
quite
points.
it's quite thinky because you have to unlock things in a certain order, but leave yourself options for future turns. You're not closing doors and then having to get the minus points because you've been too eager to go in a certain direction.
And if you plan it well, you can get some really good cascade turns where you kind of knock this off. So now I get to do this, and and now I get to do that because of that. And that, I love it when those turns come together.
So I was surprised to see shrink wrap games in the bring and buy, but they are there, and this was less than retail, and it was on my shopping list. So saved myself some money. Got exactly the same thing.
Yep. So that's what we've got. Just one or two
things
for the collection.
That was the goal, to go there and reduce the amount of games on the shelves. It really did work well. But what did you get at Airecon? Let us know down below. If you bought you found a hidden gem in the bring and buy, you found a game you didn't expect you'd like and then played it and thought, yep, buying that. Or if you just saw some games that are now on your shopping list once they are eventually released, do let us know down below.
We would love to hear from you. Of course, if you're not yet subscribed, please do so and ring that bell for more videos that we have coming up. And if you now have a hankering to buy more games, best place to go is your friendly local game store. For us here in the southeast of England, it is Chaos Cards. And as usual, we have a discount code in the description that you can use to save yourself a few pennies off if you use their online store.
And good news, if you have used a code earlier, we have a brand new one appearing in April. So you can use that and save yourself some money at checkout. But as always, thanks so much for watching.
Happy gaming.